So what's on my Mac? I haven't done one of these for a while, and a few things have changed since I last did one because I've started doing a lot more development work. Even though I consider myself primarily as a designer and creator, ever since Claude Code and Codex have come onto the scene and AI agents have come onto the scene, I've just found myself doing a lot more development work and making stuff. Let's get started with the first app, which is Eagle. I use this to collect sort of image and video inspiration that I come across the internet. Of course, being a designer and having a place to collect things that I find nice looking, aesthetically pleasing, is vital for me. It helps me come back to things in the future whenever I need to. I use this app for that. On the left-hand side, we can see the library, so I can switch the library if I like, and I can also see all the folders and categories and things that I've saved in my library. When I have an image clicked as well, I can see where it's from, where I saved it from, the source. I can see some properties about the images as well. And of course, when I double click on the image, I can open it up. I really like the look and style of this, but another feature I really like is that when I have a video saved like this one and I hover over it, it automatically plays the video, which I think is just genius because I save various videos from different places, whether it be Instagram, X, YouTube, whatever. And I want to be able to view them very quickly without actually having to open them up. This is an absolute time saver. You can choose different layouts as well. They have like justified layout, grid layout, waterfall layout, and of course you can zoom in and out so you can see more, have a more dense view or a more compact view, whatever you like basically. And yeah, I really love this app. I use it to save all sorts of inspiration, mainly design inspiration, but some photography inspiration, some videos and stuff as well. I can also share this library with my team. So I can have it on a Dropbox or a Google Drive because it is essentially just a folder of images. And the great thing is another member on my team, all they need to do is have Eagle on their Mac as well. And then they can load up the library and see everything that I saved. So we can have one place where we save images and videos and inspiration for when it comes to our own projects, our own things that we do day to day. I'm also very picky about what I save. So the stuff I save here is stuff that I think to myself, oh wow, okay, that is amazing. I definitely want to save it for future reference. Next up is something I actually found fairly new in the last few weeks. And it's an app called Ship Studio, which has just been a game changer for me. I've already started 2 projects in here, so when you open it up, you can see your projects, you can see your sort of GitHub commits and stuff like that. But what I really like is that once you open it up, you can see a grid of your projects, whatever you're working on. I recently built this, so it's basically just a website version of my newsletter, which is connected to Beehive through the Beehive API that I'm using. And yeah, what's really special about this is that it's taking the terminal, which you can see here, I have the terminal right here, but it's taking the terminal and basically giving it steroids. It's giving it a whole workspace where I can have everything all in one place without having to switch windows, switch context and things like that. So I can obviously see the active agent right now, but the great thing is I can also easily add other agents. So I can just open this up, I can add another agent and I can use either Claude Code or Codex, it doesn't matter, or obviously anything else that I like, and have multiple agents working on the same project in this one window, in this one context, which I just think makes a lot of sense. I can see my local dev server that's live. I can of course see the terminal window. I can screenshot, crop screenshot, whatever. I can see the assets and stuff. I can see which branch I'm on right now. And of course, I can see a preview, which for me being a designer, I want to be able to preview what I'm actually making without having to switch windows constantly. I can of course inspect and edit. I can change the sort of width of the windows and stuff. But what's really smart, and I think for me, again, it goes back to just the designer aspect of it, is when I do click on edit, I can click on an element on the design. So I can click something like this, and then I have an edit window on the right-hand side. And it literally looks like Figma or Framer or Webflow or whatever sort of design app you're used to. And I can make changes. I can make changes to the margin, to the paddings, whatever. So let's look at the input field specifically. I can see the component that it is. I can see that it's used twice. So it's used in 2 different places. So whenever I make edits to this, I know it will make it to the component itself and anywhere else I have that component. And as you can see, I can change the width, the height, the padding, the margins, the size. There's so many different things I can do here. I can add custom CSS as well. This for me is just a game changer when it comes to development, when it comes to making websites and apps, because I can visually make changes without having to constantly tell the AI agent, hey, can you adjust this by however many pixels? Or can you adjust that? Or can you adjust the fonts? I can make the changes here, and then when I'm happy with them, push them, get the agent to actually push them and make the changes. So it gives me a lot more of a sort of designer experience when it comes to making websites and apps. And the crazy thing is, the app itself is actually free. So you can use it for free, you can test it out. You don't have to worry about paying for anything or sort of don't know if you don't like it. But I just love how it's just everything all in one. Another app that I've been using is Hermes. So Hermes, the best way to explain it, it's like a harness for AI, an AI agent harness. So you can have Claude and ChatGPT hooked up to it and use it as the brain, but the actual sort of software and the way the chats and stuff work and the way the history works, Hermes does that instead. And what makes Hermes really powerful is that it can build a memory, it can build context, and it can remember things that you've done in the past and build off of that and remember the way you like to do things. I personally haven't used it enough to get to that sort of level, but everyone keeps telling me it's amazing. So what I've done is I've actually installed it on a Mac Mini, which is in another part of my house. I've installed Tailscale on the Mac Mini, and then I've installed Tailscale on this, and then I've installed the Hermes app. And the Hermes app on here is connected to that one on the Mac Mini. So you can have a gateway basically. So that means I can have all of my chats and contacts and everything all in one place, which is on my Mac Mini. And then I also have it connected to Telegram, so I can message it from my phone if I want to as well. So I can talk to it from my phone. The best thing about something like this is that you're not locked into something like ChatGPT or Claude, which is building all of your memory and context over time. You can export it, but of course you're sort of locked in. It's not fully private. With something like Hermes, it is private. All of your information, all of your data and stuff stays private. And of course, if you use a local AI model, it will stay completely private. Their website and their styling and the way they've done things, I think is just awesome. Very cool service, very cool app. And it's quite smart the way you can basically use any AI model you like. The way I see Hermes and the way I'm going to be using it going forward is that because I've installed it on my Mac Mini, I've essentially given Hermes a computer to work with. And then on that computer, I've installed specific apps and things that I'm happy to give it access to, like my email. So for example, when I'm on the go, I can ask it to give me summaries about my emails and give me that every day if I want to at a certain time. I can get it to run different automations whenever I like. That's what makes Hermes really powerful. I think that's what I'm going to be using it most for when it comes to automations and having things running in the background and not having to worry about, oh, is my current MacBook that I'm using actually open and live? It's not asleep, because of course with the MacBook setup I have here, you know, sometimes my MacBook is in my backpack, my MacBook is somewhere else, but with something like this, I can message it from wherever and it basically has access to everything that I need it to. Next up is an app that I get asked about all the time when someone sees my setup, when I post it on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, and it's the music player that I have in the bottom corner of my screen. And basically this music player shows anything that's playing on your Mac, any music that's playing on your Mac, and I've set it up so that it shows me the album art, the song title, and the artist. And it's an app called Sleeve, and it's pretty awesome. It's very simple. I'm currently using like a custom theme that I've made, but they have a bunch of themes here that you can sort of go between, see whatever you like basically. But I have a very minimal and small custom theme. You can change the layout and stuff, so you can have vertical layout, horizontal layout. There's so many different options here. I just really like it because it's just a simple app to show me what track is currently playing. I'm always listening to music pretty much whenever I'm working at my desk, so I want to be able to see what track is playing, especially when it's something that, oh wow, okay, that sounds really good, because I have my Spotify. I usually try and play me new tracks that I haven't heard, discover weekly and things like that. So I'm always seeing artists and tracks that, you know, I've never heard of, I've never seen the name of or whatever. And being able to quickly see them in the bottom left corner is pretty nice. My current browser of choice is Dia. I fully switched to Dia. I just love this browser. I really wish they had a mobile version, but Dia for me is just awesome. There's a few key features that I really like about it. It's based on Chrome, so it has access to all of the Chrome extensions that are available for a usual Chrome browser. But I just like the design of it. I like the look of it. Look how clean and minimal it looks. I have the sidebar here with all the vertical tabs, which I just think now it just makes so much sense. I don't know how or why we went so long with horizontal tabs. Like vertical tabs, I think makes a lot more sense, especially considering most websites are vertical. And of course you can see a lot more of your tabs in one place. I can press Command S to hide all the tabs as well, so I can have a very clean view of the website I'm looking at. But another key feature that I really like about this is the auto grouping functionality. Let's just say I want to view multiple products. Now, of course, you'd open them up in new tabs, but you can see here, it automatically groups the tabs in one place, which I just think makes so much sense. I don't know why other browsers don't do this. I can, of course, hide the group if I need to. I can go between the tabs, and of course, I can just press close to close all the tabs as well. Absolutely genius, I think. Another feature that I really like is being able to have two tabs side by side. So I've currently got this tab open, but what if I want to view another one? I can just drag and drop it. I can have both the tabs open at the same time, and of course I can change the size of them as well. Another game changer, I think. These sorts of features, this sort of functionality, I think just makes so much sense. And It's crazy. Once you start using it, you realize how and why was I using other crappy browsers in the past. CleanShot X, so I'm actually currently using CleanShot X to record this video, so I can't actually show it to you on my Mac, so I might as well just show you the website. But the way it works is that it basically replaces the screenshotting and the video sort of screen recording on your Mac, and it is awesome. It's by far the best. I've tried so many different ones. This for me is just the easiest and the cleanest, and it has a bunch of different tools built in. So of course, when you take a screenshot, it automatically has the thumbnails in the bottom left. The annotate feature is awesome. There's so many different ways to annotate screenshots with CleanShot X. I especially like the blurring functionality. Being able to blur things out and share screenshots and stuff is great. Being able to highlight things, yeah, really good. And then of course you can upload stuff to the cloud to quickly share with people. It can capture websites and stuff, screen recording. The screen recording, like I said, is what I'm using now to record this screen. And yeah, I can have different resolutions, different aspect ratios. I can choose what mic it's using to record. I can choose to not have any mic. Yeah, it's just a really powerful screen recording, screenshotting tool that I really would recommend. It just makes everything a lot easier. Another one I came across recently is called Dock Door, and it basically has two different functions. So Windows obviously has the Alt Tab functionality, which I think is awesome. Now you can have this on here. So Option Tab, and it shows me all of my windows that are currently open. So I can go to something like Dia, open it up, and it opens it up. But it also works with the dock. So when I hover over an app in my dock, it shows me the thumbnails for those apps, which I think just makes, again, a lot of sense. I don't understand why this isn't already built in. I can even have my Spotify controls right there as well. Another app I really like is Usage. So as the name suggests, it's basically an app that shows different information about your Mac. So you can see battery health, disk network data, all this sort of stuff, memory, what you're using, just anything and everything. And there's also a menu bar app. So you don't actually have to use this. You can just have everything that you want in the menu bar up here, which again is very useful just to be able to see everything at a glance. And then we have Raycast. So Raycast, I actually think is better than me showing you the website, because their website does a good job of showing what it's capable of. But it basically just replaces the Spotlight. It does a lot more than what the Spotlight can do. It does everything the Spotlight can and more. So it has clipboard history, it has AI stuff built in, emoji picker, calculator, window management, all built into Raycast. As we scroll down, there's a ton of other stuff as well. You can actually have it connected to things like Linear, Spotify, Arc, 1Password, Slack, Zoom, and you can have all of this in Raycast, which is just crazy because it's basically a way to access all of your things. When we scroll down further, I really like this because it shows you various different things again that you can do. Take notes, track flights, convert anything, search for files, run scripts, manage your windows, plan your day, remind you of stuff, translate stuff, block distractions, find screenshots, insert emojis, and obviously much, much more. And they also have extensions. So when you go to the store tab, you can see all the different extensions they have available, all the different things that you can make your Mac do and have access to. Super powerful. Honestly, Raycast is like a superpower for your Mac, basically. And of course, I'm still using all of the apps that most people will be familiar with. Things like Claude, things like ClickUp, Notion, Spark, Spotify, just all the other apps that sort of Mac has as well. But I try to keep it quite lean. I don't actually want to have 1,000,001 different apps on my Mac and be using 1,000,001 different apps. If anything, I want to use the least amount of apps possible to get stuff done, to make stuff. Because the main thing for me is that I just want to save time. I want to do anything I can with my Mac that can help me save time. I have one request for everyone that's watching. Please leave a comment below of an app that everyone should check out. Something that other people don't really mention in videos and stuff, but you think everyone should check out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe for more.